What's up, everyone? It's Ben Falcon's Media Corner back again with a brand new AK After I Saw review episode for today. This is going to be my review on a movie that was released this year for 2022, which this one just came out just a couple months ago in the US, and I just watched this a couple days ago, and I'm here to give you guys my personal thoughts on this release. So this is going to be my review on the 2022 action thriller, and that movie is Memory. Now, Memory was directed by Martin Campbell, the man behind The Mask and The Legend of Zorro, as well as being the director of Edge of Darkness, GoldenEye, and even one of my favorite James Bond movies of all time, Casino Royale from 2006, and also being the director of the 2011 superhero film known as Green Lantern, which, let's not talk about that film. So, in this movie, we follow this expert assassin named Alex Lewis, played by Liam Neeson, who has a reputation for this discreet precision. And for him being caught in a moral quagmire... No, not Quagmire from Family Guy. No, not this guy, no. Plus, I did not even say his first name. So anyway, let's move on from that as well. So, in this movie, we see him later on in the film that he refuses to complete a job which basically violates his code, and he's forced to go on pursuit to basically hunt down those who hired him before they and the CIA, which is led by this man named Vincent Serra, played by Pearce, find him. And soon later on in the film, we see Alex building up his path to revenge to basically hunt down those who hired him. But with the memory that's beginning to falter, it basically starts to question Alex himself for every action he does, which is blurring the line between right or wrong. So that's pretty much the story of Memory. Now, we've got another Liam Neeson action thriller for this year, which is totally an unexpected surprise because we already did get one in the beginning of this year, which is, of course, Black Light, which I'm assuming you guys didn't even see that film, right? Even though I did, and a few of my YouTube friends did, we've seen the film, and we can tend to agree that that film is a giant piece of turd, and we just don't want to think about it or talk about it anymore, since that movie is totally dreadful. So for this new Liam Neeson action thriller, honestly, I did not know what to expect from this one, and I wasn't massively excited for this one, because for the most recent Liam Neeson action thrillers that we've been getting haven't been that good lately to me. But what really surprised me is that there were some other recognizable names who were involved with this movie. You've got Monica Bellucci and Pearce, who I think are talented people. And for Martin Campbell behind the camera, I was surprised that he was directing this movie because I do tend to enjoy some of his works, mostly his 2006 James Bond movie Casino Royale, which is of course one of my favorite James Bond movies of all time. And he has a few misses under his belt, mostly the 2011 DC Comics superhero film Green Lantern, which, of course, nowadays, most people tend to joke on about that film, while most of us just don't even want to talk about that movie anymore. So, anyway, I did watch this film just a couple days ago because I had nothing else really planned. And so, after watching it, was this movie better than Black Light? Well, in my own words, I would say, if you add a tiny drop of water to your glass of water up to the brim, being the measurement to another glass of water that's not to the brim, like this. But honestly, it's not saying that much because this movie really wasn't that good here, you guys. It really, really wasn't that good here. But there was one little thing I did like a little bit more than Black Lights, but just one thing, is the fact this film does get away with a lot more violence since this is rated R and there's blood in this film, which I thought was passable. But honestly, the direction by Martin Campbell and even the editing in this film for every action sequences here just feels like you're watching a cartoon from any cartoon channel, like, say, Cartoon Network, for example. There's one moment in the film where Liam Neeson threatens a guy at a bar who refuses to leave, and so he just grabs his head and he just bashes his head on the bar counter and he just leaves. And when I saw that on screen, I just feel like I wanted to laugh so hard my lungs would have burst and I would have died. But that didn't happen to me, because after I saw it on screen, I was just like, what? What the hell just happened here? And the best way I can definitely describe the action sequences here in this film, every single one of them, they're just absolutely ridiculous from being like a cartoon, and just really bad, alongside with its editing as well, which is also bad. And there are even some serious moments in the film outside of the action sequences, which I can definitely say they are even more ridiculous along with its ridiculous action. And the writing in this film, I just found the writing to be really poor. The lines of dialogue, I just found them to be extremely dull and bland for what the characters are saying in this film. Even when they swear, even though there's not a problem with swearing in this film, but in this film, for when they swear, it just honestly makes the writing even more poor than ever. But the acting in the film, well, for Liam Neeson, he's just pretty much being himself really again, but in the new action thriller. But for everyone else in the film, I just found that acting in the film just pretty much really dull, and for the characters, they were just really uninteresting. when it cuts to them, I was just getting less. I was just getting even more. I was just getting less interested with the film. Even for the last 15 minutes, I was just getting really. I was just like losing my interest with this film. And when that happened, I was just like, when's this movie gonna be over? I wasn't like crying, begging for like this movie to be over. Like I wasn't like, when's this gonna be over? I want this to be over. I wasn't like that for myself, because I was just waiting for something to happen. But there was nothing like that. That just really got me interest back with this film. Because again, I was getting because I was losing my interest with this film. And the story in the film just has the exact same formula from any kind of Liam Neeson action thriller that we have already had in the past, or even any other action thriller that we had in the past that does not have Liam Neeson in the past. There was just some formula stuff from there being put in this film, which it's just pretty much really a copy and paste story, really. So overall, in the end, guys, Memory, it's definitely not a good film here. Again, it's better than Blacklight, but it's not really saying that much. While for having, bloody violence is passable, but again, for the way it's directed by Martin Campbell, it's just really bad, and it just comes off as ridiculous, which is shocking to say that, because I liked his directing talent for like what he did with Casino Royale, because for that film, it's such a gritty, violent Bond film, but for this film, I don't know what the hell happened here. And also, like I said, the story has the exact same formula that we've already had in the past for any kind of action thrillers that we've had in the past that either starred or did not star Liam Neeson. Has uninteresting characters, well, for outside Liam Neeson, really, because he is a little bit interesting, but for everyone else, really, they were just uninteresting, really. And the writing, again, was just really poor and really bland and all that. Nothing else in this film just can really save this film, unfortunately, really. And this is definitely not a really good film, really, for 2022 here for myself. I'm going to give Memory a 1 out of 5. Like I said, it is a little bit better than Blacklight, but again, it's not really saying that much. Well, having bloody violence, it is passable, but for everything else surrounding this film, I just found this to be another generic action thriller with Liam Neeson that isn't really that good here, alongside other Liam Neeson action thrillers that I have seen before that aren't that good. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After I Saw review on Memory, and let me know what you think of this film if you have seen this before, or if you've just recently watched this film. Did you have a really good time with this, or was this not really your popcorn treat? So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews, and as always, this has been Foggins Media Corner signing off.